Uh-oh, the game in trouble. I don't know. I don't know where that was at. I thought I had it. I know. Baby. Good evening. Good evening, my RDL 6 companions. On our way to week 5. I'd rather that. All right, here we go, man. You know, we got to start off with the standings. Got a few games played right now, so let's go. It's going to be a little uneven. Some guys played already, some guys haven't played their week 5 matchups yet. But as of right now, in the standings, we got the New York Giants sitting at 4-0, our number one on the top 10 list right now. At number 2, you got the Broncos sitting at 4-0. Young Shador stepping up right now. Got his team ready to play. They back in the building now as they continue to grow that team over there in Mile High. At 3, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at third spot, but they're the 3-time defending champions right now, three-peaters. 5-0, sitting at number 3. At 4, you got the Arizona Cardinals and their young quarterback, Nico, sitting at 4-0. They had a scare last week, too, though, against them hot Rams right now, man. Had a nice little scare against those guys. They sit at 4 right now. The Texans are at 5, and Jawan Springs is doing it again. With the Baltimore Ravens, Term City sitting at 4. Anthony Iverson has his team 4-0 right now as well. At 7, you have the Saints at 3-1. At 8, there are the Philadelphia Eagles and their quarterback, the Golden Child, at 3-1. At 9, the Dolphins feel like they're coming back a little bit. They're rising right now with a big one over the New England Patriots last night. They are 2-2. They are getting it done, man. It's some rumors around that Dolphins team right now. Maybe some trade rumors going around there. But as of right now, they're getting it done with who they got to get it done with. And at number 10, you got the Patriots 10 as 2-2 as well. But they're on a 2-game skid right now, along with the Jaguars as well on a 2-game skid. And then those hot Cowboys are on a 3-game winning streak right now. So we know once we advance, things are going to change as far as where we at. The Buffalo Bills are sitting at 2-2 as well. As you again, some of these teams you're seeing with 2-2 records early, they might be playing tough schedules. Plus, some of them got first place schedules. But the teams to look out for is the Lions. The Raiders is back in the building. The Falcons at 3-2 as well. Browns sitting at 2-2. And you got the 49ers 2-2. They play the Ravens tonight. Packers 2-2. Whole bunch of 500 teams. We're going to see what they're going to do as we go forward. But that's your standings right now. As far as the top 10 in the entire league, right? So let's get out of here. Let's go talk for a little bit. We got to talk about the diaper dandies. We haven't had a real draft report since we talked about the Dolphins and the Eagles. We got to continue to talk about teams. But before we do that, I want to go over here and look at what's going on stat-wise, where our lead is at right now as far as yards, rushing, touchdowns, all types of stuff. We're going to go check that out right now and see where we at with. All right, so the quarterback that's throwing for the most yards so far right now is Dustin Crum. I remember I seen that Dan Marino Jr. was over there on their roster, and they still sticking with Dustin Crum, so that they must know something we don't know. But Dustin Crum playing pretty well over there for 1,856 yards passing. Behind him is C.J. Stroud in that air attack over there in Atlanta, ATL. All right, so the Bucks have a new quarterback. Raiders' old quarterback gets traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he is now the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he's 3 on the list right now in the passing yards of 1547. He's looking like any Bucks quarterback so far. 16 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, 76%. That's a high percentage right now, too, 286.8 point yards a game right now. It looks like he just plugged and played. Jason Butterfield, the Dolphins have to feel really good about this. 1,500 yards right now. He's in the top. When he has a quarterback that's sitting in the top in yards and things like that, they usually have a good season. Trevor Lawrence sitting here. You got Trevor Lawrence right here. So what number is Trevor Lawrence? Go back up real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trevor is 5 in the league right now. And then you got the young diaper dandy Nico Amaliva, right? He's balling out right now. He's number 6 in the league with Akil Glass at 7, Bryce Young at 8, and Shador Sanders at 9. And our top 10 rounds off with Anthony Iverson. And we still see Lamar Jackson is still kicking and pushing with DT and Weber right behind him. Let's look at touchdowns right now. He's number 1 in the league in touchdowns. And we got our top 5 are Anthony Iverson, Nico, the diaper dandy, Stroud, Wills, Crum, and Lawrence. 13 touchdowns. Bryce tied with 13 as well as Shador, 13. So I would say they're number 4. So let's go back and look at this right now. 20, 18, 17, your top 3, 16, your top 4, 14, your top 5. All right, so looking at number 6, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. 3 guys are fighting with 13 touchdowns right now. Now, who's donating the most right now in the league? Trevor Lawrence has thrown 18 interceptions along with Dustin Crum and Trigger Man Felix Harper with Wise Montana. INT Centrals right now. Let's go look at the runners right now to see who's carrying the ball right now. Joey Cummings still in the building. Old man Joey. 121 carries. J.C. Fields. J.C. Fields, the New York Jet, man. The newly acquired New York Jet. They got him at the end of last year. Coming into this season. It will be his first year on the field as a Jet. And he's not doing bad right now, man. 113 carries, but he also got the yards to back it up, too. So now that we know who our top 2 rushers are, as far as yards, and as far as carries, let's go to the yards right now. Cummins with 864, averaging 7.1. JC at 783. Tremaine Bass, our last year's MVP, with 606. There's the kid, Jawan Springs, sitting here with 589. Guys are rocking right now. He's number 4 on the list at 5. Journey Brown, man, the sleeper, Journey Brown. Watch out for Journey. Hits Israel 531. Golden for the Bengals sitting at 516. All right, so at 7, B. John Robinson, the newly acquired B. John Robinson, Atlanta Falcons trade B. John Robinson to the Ravens. He comes in as a big day with the Ravens in his debut. 65 carries, 468 yards right now. John Emery goes from the Lions to the Broncos, and it looked like Chris Tyree is over in Lions Nation right now. They look like the Broncos want themselves a big power back that can break tackles and get put on freight train. Smart, 464. in the building. And you got Jaden Hayden. And you also got Jaleel Ruggs. And then you got a newcomer, Amani Goodwin, Diaper Dandy, sitting here with 92 carries for his 137 yards. Touchdown makers right now are as follows. Jaleel Ruggs with 16, Cummins with 9, Tremaine Bass with 7, tied with Springs, Mark Anthony Richards with 7, Tim Hamlin 7, Zamir White. Every year you see a different Panther up here somehow. That's the one thing they do well is run the football over there. They're a running team, man. They're a running machine over there. Different running backs. They loaded with backs. They got all different type of style running backs they can do things with over there. Walter Payton Jr., B. John Robinson, with 6, and then you're looking at the quarterback, Derek King with 5, and Zeus with 5. Evan Pryor, the rookie speedster for the Bills with 5. Spencer Moss also got 5. Boom Jackson, Hayden, Brown, Fields. And you start getting to your 4 guys right there, man. Who averaging the most yards per game right now? Joey Cummings with 172, Fields with 156, Bass with 151, Springs, Hits, and Golden all over 120. Gotta talk about break tackle. I see what guys are breaking tackles like crazy. Oh my God. Kentrell Golden, 25 of them things. Joey coming with 19. Emery, 19. This is the reason why the Broncos want a player like that. On the 16 yards a game with 19 of them things. J.C. Fields with 17. D. John Robinson, 16. Tied with Evans and Ruggs. Receptions, 36 from Dean Brackett. He's been balling since week 1, I think. He's been balling, man. You got Big Sanders out the backfield. Pitting in Turkey, 33 catches out the backfield. Michael Myers, the tight end, is still getting busy when the coach is actively playing. And my boy Mike is back, 26 of them things. So does 99 Reasons, 26. Lou McCoy with 24 catches. Pierre with 24. Kyle Pitts, veteran, another veteran in the league with 24 of them things. Josh Downs finally gets to play over there as a receiver instead of a return man. He got 22 catches for the Cardinals right now, with Jaleel Ruggs out the backfield with 21 and Weidman with 21 along with Zach Evans. Seeing a lot of running backs up here with receptions right now. Check down Charlie is happening, I'm seeing. All right, yards wise, Brackens, man, since that 439-yard game against us, he been up here putting it in. We got Brew McCoy with 678. Michael Myers, the tight end, with 558. Pierre, veteran, old man Pierre, 531. Downs with 518. Then you got Pitch, you got Roderick Smith, Tim Israel sighting. Tion Pitch is now a Falcon, 8 touchdowns and 16 catches for 458. See how he does there. Cousin Pooh sitting right here as well, 16 catches, 450. Who's your touchdown maker so far? All right, Tion Pitts with 8 of them things. 99 Reasons with 8 as well. Bracken 7. Boo McCoy 7. Malachi Weidman 7. Josh Downs 7. You got David Bell with 7 touchdowns. I'm about to take her now. I got her. Nah, you know what? Yeah, you can do it real fast. We'll take her for a while. Kaylon Stokes 7. D. John Dixon 6'4", 200. 6 touchdowns for the Cowboys. Okay, they got a nice little move receiver over there, big body guy over there. Pooh Hanna got 5. Franklin got 5. And then there's the Jameson Williams effect with 5 as well. Let's go from the defense side of things. See who leading the league in tackles right now. Linebacker U, the coach. Linebacker U, Cedric Kidd leading that linebacker U with 38. Will Laurie, 33. You got Big Von Burley from the safety position, 32. Jalen McKenzie, 31. Lewis Sines. Oh, shit. There you go. My bad. This is a good pick for the Jets. Jets been, and this last 2 drafts been looking hard over there. 30, 30, 30 club right now. 30 club. Jonathan Flo, the young Jonathan Flo finally meets his brother in the league. And he had 30 tackles on the season right now. My tackle for loss guys are as follow. 8 for Christian Harris at the linebacker position for the Jets. 6 for Pierre Ford. 5 for N'Kobe Dean. 5 for Keyshawn James, the type of dandy. You got Demario Chambers, 5. Justin Jacobs, the linebacker, with 5. Fedarian Mathis with 5. Manny Montana. Brad Dawkins. Lindsey White, D tackle, and a whole bunch of fives. I'm not going to continue to go down all of them damn fives. Sacks. 9 is leading the league at that. Carmichael, Pat Teller, 8.5, along with Desmond Evans, is showing that that rookie season wasn't a fluke. He's doing it again. You got Matt Kuwanuka, used to be a Giant, now he's a Viking with 7. Jermaine Johnson, my FSU boy, 7 of them things right now, as you can see. And then Aaron Hafford comes back for the Chargers, and he has 6 sacks. INT wise, hopefully I don't got to go through AFC, NFC. They just showing it. Big Ron Burley with 7. Lance Norman, cornerback, 6. You got Vontae Williams, the safety, 6. McCoy told me he watch out for him next year, and look at him, ball right now, man. Got him putting in work. Don't matter if he's 215 pounds, 6'3", and all that. Man, he a safety, he a dog. Everybody else ignore him. And the guy that's from his area knows him because he probably watches Miami and know that he, got kicked off the team, came back. He's back on the team now. He's gonna be a problem for them. 6 picks right now, so he's a problem for the Panthers. Good shit. Breached them with 5, and we got Hilton and then Reeves Allen all got 5 interceptions right now. Deflections. So we bat shit down right now. 6 for Petey McCoy. Greg Williams, the my player, 5. You got Travis Gilmore, the new Titan, with 4. You got Idris Elba. He still ain't changed these damn actor names out there. My boy, Yannick Anderson with 4, along with Chris Samuels. Anybody cracking? Who cracking right now? What linebackers out there cracking? Montana, 2. Dad Carmichael, 2. I'm only going to show you the top 3. Desmond Evans. Everybody 2 right now. All right, let's go look at the touchdowns. Anybody running shit back? Yep. Lance Norman picking them things off. How many picks he got? 6 of them, 2 to the crib, and then a whole bunch of ones behind that. Shout out to Nano. Look like his guy finally stepping up to be his number 1 corner over there now. Let's look at the AFC South. All right. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Let's be. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. And we're going to get there. All right. Start with the Titans first. Take a look at the Titans roster and see what they did in the offseason and in the draft. All right. So Trevor Lawrence is still here, 31 of age. But not an issue for him because, as we know, our quarterbacks don't drop. As long as they're not dropping themselves, they get to stay where they at with their abilities. So Trevor's there for him. At the running back position, they drafted Sean Dollars. So they go get a dog in Sean Dollars. We like him, superstar for sure. Sean been injured in real life. With the, medical red shirt and the COVID year back. He's still a freshman. How he not on Superstar? Did I forget or did I not put him? Oh, I gotta look at my notes, bro. You might be winning right here, Los. Let me go look at my notes. He might not be on Superstar because he's been. Yeah, that's why he's been hurt. He didn't get to play no years in college right now, so that's why. Oh my God, that's my guy, Sean Dollars. You need that Superstar, but look, their backfield is healthy over here. You got Keontae Ingram, who's a server's over back for sure. Could be the number 1 while Jaden's getting up there in age, and then you got Dollars if you're at a green and has your backup. So I like their backfield. Let's look at the receiver core over here. We're looking at Tim Israel at 27, but he's still leading the group over here. They traded for Isaac Cannon in the offseason. I think that was a big move if they're going to use him. They got to better figure out a way to get these 2 guys, balling along with the slot receiver. Now, when you look at Oskino, I think they do got enough depth over here, really, to better manage the fact that, their receivers are getting up there in age with with Tim and Ishmael, right? I think they have everything on their roster. So if I'm them, I'm not worrying about drafting another receiver at this point right now. I would just continue to let this team develop. And you start to worry about these guys down here, the 22, 21, and 20-year-old guys. Worry about them because you want them to develop somehow. So work on your receiver group to get more established out of these guys and start to phase them in. But right now, it's the Trevor Lawrence show. They should be playing this season with their veterans. Why? Because this has to be a try to win the division season. Every year has to be it, but I think you take your last shot for the next 2 seasons with the veterans on your team and allow them to try to get you this division, try to capture the division over there. At the tight end position, excuse me, my bad. At their tight end position, Chance Davis, they traded for him too with the Giants. Harvey McLaughlin is still here, and Luke Leachy. So we love their tight end room. They're three deep over here. They can do some things scheme wise if they, if they chose to. They'll be in a good situation. Left tackles, um, both of them 7 years in, but again, we don't touch the linemen, so they're fine. Good there. Straight at the starting to get up there in age though, but straight there too. Look at the center position, getting 27-year-old, still cool, 6 years in, he's good. Right tackle, right guard, 28 years old, so they're getting long in the 2 foot, but they can still hold up because we don't drop linemen. Plus, linemen take a little longer to start dropping. About usually around like 33, 34 to start dropping, depending for the most part. All right, so you look at the right tackle again. They got of age, but they serviceable. Everybody's over it. So if I'm Justin. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm happy with what I got on my offensive line because you have veterans. So that means when you're dealing with veterans, you're dealing with good awareness players, guys that have been there, done that. This team should be able to compete for their division offensively right now. I think they got the weapons and protection to be able to compete. They have a strong run game. They have a really good offensive line, a really veteran offensive line, and they have a very good receiving core if used right, especially with the addition of Isaac Cannon over there. I think they can find ways to put them in a situation where he can make plays for them. Anytime you're dealing with a speed burner at 6'6" right now, and still in his prime, you got to find a way to make him a threat in the red zone. They can do that and find a way to get him the football and scheme him open, and allow him to go win some 50-50s. I think this Titan team can be reckoned with. I think they have, a window, a 2-year window to try to win with this team. And in that same 2 years of trying to win with this team, they need to be trying to flip this roster a little bit. Whether they trading for a little bit younger players in their prime, or they go through the draft and develop for the next 2 years. They have to. And a lot of spots, they do have the players on their roster already offensively. Let's go look what they got on team, what they doing over here. All right, so Marquise Tillman is here at 29. Paul Blue is 29. And you got a young D'Angelo Malone. Again, you see it, 2 veterans and a guy they can groom. So there's no stress if I'm them. Like, all right, do I address defense end? Of course you do in one of your next 2 drafts, but you still have the guy on your roster to better get, to better take over for the 2 veterans. At the right end position, we're looking at Woodbury. Julius Woodbury, he's a monster in this league, 25, and they do have a young Wilford Ibar at defense end right now as well. 86 speed, 86 excel. So again, they got 2 young diaper games. Now, me personally, Wilfredo's probably going red shirt. I'm not going to play him right now, and let him develop as we develop. At the D tackle position, how they looking? Alex Nance, 28, Starks is 27, and Alex Huntley, 21 years old. All right, so you play the development game here too, but you're comfortable. Now, my thing is you want to be too deep with abilities at the D tackle at this point, so they got to figure that out. But other than that, they're still comfortable there too. But this would be a need of address, in my opinion. I would be addressing the D tackle position. At linebacker, you got Owen Papo, super speed demon. You got Kyrie Banton, they drafted, so they loaded here at the left outside linebacker. So they look like in the middle. Tillman is only 26. You got Shepard, 28. Loaded. You also picked up Aaron Willis, another speed demon from out of Tennessee. So they addressed their linebacker needs. They got it. They got guys on the roster again. Brandon Smith, 23 years old. They loaded over Daylon Spector, 90 speed. So they got it. They got it good at the linebacker position. They don't have no panic here. I would not, unless there's a transitional player that you trade for or out of the draft and he's a day one starter. Other than that, man, like this team is pretty solid. They really fight for this division right now, and they don't really have to make a jump here. They're young enough at the linebacker level to just continue to develop over there. Now, in the cornerback room, we do know AI comes over, so they bring them a veteran over here before the draft. They bring in the veteran Anthony Israel, which is, they got him cheap, so in my opinion, it's smart. They also traded for Travis Gilmore, and they brought him along with Dijon Warren. So now that Joseph is 30 years old, you still got Mikael right here, and then Noah Daniels, solid 88 overall. Still a guy that you got to develop into something, or gift is handed out, put the gift for him. Other than that, you look at your cornerback room and you look at it and you say you're really 4 deep there for right now, but this could be another need for you if you're not invested in Noah Daniels. Other than that, Wrights can play. Uh, Warren is the alpha male. Gilmore and Israel. You got the veteran, so you got Israel for a year two actually, because you could keep him at at least superstar
You.
uh, as your 30-year-old. So I like the Titans roster. They got a bunch of veterans. They got some good young pieces around them. Um, this roster, he has to play this year as this year and next year. We want to find a way to win this division, and they have to play that way. They have to look at this roster and know that this team can win late in the year and early in the year because they have enough veteran presence around them to be able to make up. And then when you plan in a division where guys constantly get younger, fast, you can literally dominate that division just by being a veteran team over there. Now it takes gameplay, scheme, all those things matter as well. But I like where the Titans is at. I think this is a perfect roster for who's coaching this roster. He just has to see the identity of it and make it work and go out there and go get you this division this year. And then, if not, show yourself improvements, come in second place, and then next year look to take it. But then, shoot, if you're looking 3 years down the road, it better be a flip over. So you better start the process this off season. Start to flip this team over a little bit. All right, next team in this division we're gonna go to is the Indianapolis Colts. So let's slide down to C. Maxie, what's up, bro?
What's good? What's good?
All right. Your linebacker U is what I call this team. So we'll start here at their quarterback position. Desmond Ritter has continued to grow. He's been up and down. Definitely been up and down, but what he is proven. What you think about Desmond, Max?
I would put it like that. Definitely up and down, but a name at 23 years old, I think he is. Like he's still a name. He's a guy.
He
At
still
one
have
point,
a whole bunch of football in front of him. So
yeah, a whole lot.
he came out the gate screaming out the gate, having a hell of a first year. The next year, toned it down a little bit. We expected that, sophomore slump. But this is their franchise quarterback. They're not in a situation at all where they need a quarterback. Desmond is the guy over there.
Hmm.
Definitely the guy over there. I love the transition from Zaquandre White from Joey Adai. They already made that transition. They do got Israel Banika Tanda over here, who I like from Pittsburgh. I think he can, got all the tangibles to be a really good back. And he's 220 pounds, so you could freight train him eventually. But I like their backfield. You still got the veteran over there, and you got a nice little serviceable backup. But this is the guy that you run everything through Zaquandre. So we like that. Take a look at the receiver core. Obviously, now Bowman, the guy that helped you develop your passing game over getting up there in age. Him and Samuels, right? Dennis Elliott. Really, really never seen too much out of Dennis Elliott. But he's here. He's on the roster at 6'6". They're invested right here. Brendan Rice, Kevin Austin Jr., and then now Chad Johnson Jr. So they go get Chad's son and Jerry Rice's son. So if I'm Desmond Ritter, I'm comfortable with the three guys down here uh, being able to be my next wave of receivers take over. But if I'm the coach, in my opinion, I know 27, 28, you still got some time with them. But I'm looking for a receiver, another one, right? Just not a guy that you need to bring in. Like, of course, if you want to draft next season and you draft you a dog that's a day one starter for you, fine. But I'm looking for a guy because in theory you're gonna be replacing Bowman. Um, Now Isaiah Samuels has been proven enough to better replace him in my opinion. But Elliott, unless he's a red zone threat, you're not going to use him because you're going to be scared to use him because of that speed. He's a receiver in a tight end body, um, but not big enough to play the tight end position. But that's tight end speed. So if you're not putting him in a slot and doing tight end shit with him, or outside in the red zone, kind of a waste of a body. So that's two receivers you kind of need to replace. My thing is you do have that on your roster already. So just for depth, they can probably attack the receiver position. Other than that, they got to get these guys going. So what would be your urgency, Max, to be able to get Brendan Rice, Austin Jr., and especially Austin Jr.? He's been on his roster for 3 seasons. This will be his fourth after the end of this year. What's your urgency for them to get active and start trying to get play out of them like you got out of Bowman and Sanders?
Let me look at it entirely. Hold on. I would say I would say honestly, I would just give the full commitment. I'm looking at like the age threshold of the top three guys. They're all in like a 1 to 2 year mark, kind of where they'll phase out anyways. I would just commit with the younger bottom three guys now, and maybe bring
Yep.
in Bowman or Elliott, or I mean Bowman or Samuels in like a third down situation, or like a second and long or something like that. I
I guess
don't think.
I would do exactly what you're saying, like because there's no they don't have no pressure on them. Like, this team has
Yeah.
they haven't really they've been they're winning games, but they haven't shown that they can win this division in a couple seasons, right? So in my opinion, what I would do is Zach Bowman will still play, just in case. So if we end up having a great year, you want that veteran on the field, but
Mhm.
you got to go ahead and make the transition, man. Again,
I think he's got the talent, the age, the the like tandems. Kevin Austin needs a little bit more like route running ability, but he's a gadget type of player, so he could do a little bit more than just borderline base route running. You know what I'm saying? Like they got some guys over there, and then you still got Samuels, who's not all the way close to 30 yet. Like we're talking about him as if he's already 30. He's
right,
27, so you could lean on him too. Um,
right. I definitely think with Ritter after him, you got to go ahead and let the new weapons be a part of your
hmm
offense. Like, and they got to be like, I mean, if he can get it right, you're looking at Brendan Rice and Chad Johnson Jr. as your outside receivers. Imagine that, baby Chad, baby Rice out there getting wet. Like, I would definitely be into that right now if I'm him. So I like his receiving room still, though. At the tight end, you got Cash 27, and you're looking at Myers, who's one of the better tight ends in the league, and then they picked up Terrence Ferguson in this year's draft, right? And he's a dog already, 92 overall, but he's more of a blocking tight end, so you got to get him on the field as your number two. You know what I mean? Myers, the guy, he do both block and receive, and he's always up there with yard stats and things like that. So he's the alpha male of this offense, and I would say he's their best receiving weapon right now. Would you agree or disagree with me?
I would think so, kind of. I could agree with that statement.
The Irish. Irish. I'm the captain. Now, let's look at the offensive line. 30-year-old Lucas Mahoney. Looking at guards, 25 there. We're cool there. All right, they got a whole bunch of centers here. That means they can move guys around. They did draft a center. Um, Obviously, none of my centers were real draft guys, age 21. So most of you guys drafted centers and they were good. Some of them were good all the way up to the undrafted, but they were 21. I didn't give them real draft names. So these guys, 21-year-old rookies, can be named whatever you want them to name them. Because they're not real draft players. So he did get a dog though, right here, Mateo Francisco. Um, but all his linemen are sitting right here. Logan Bruss is there. You still got Clay Webb. They got some talent and youth there. So it doesn't matter about Lucas being 30 or even Kyle Lewis being 27. They're still weapons on this offensive line. Lamar Roseman at 31. As much as they look super old, you go to that center position, and guys can play tackle and guard over there. So they're kind of good at the line right now. But they better find a secure five for Ritter. You don't want to be changing that offensive line up with your quarterback already being effective and hot. You don't want to be putting different linemen and trying to figure that puzzle out. You need to get that thing straight now. The protection has to be there because the weapons are there. So the protection got to be there. So we got to figure that out right now. Aiden Hutchinson, man, holding it down. Shaq Bonds, number two right now. They got both B. Ojulari. Remember the Ojulari's brothers? And they got one from LSU, so he's a dog. So I like their left ends. They completely loaded there. What it looked like on the right, you got Donovan Cofield, veteran. Looked like that was a free agency move. And then Isaiah Foskey, Notre Dame. They like their Notre Dame guys over here. It's the pipeline for Indianapolis Colts, Notre Dame players. But they loaded at the end. Um, and they got one of the better ones too. Um, Aiden Hutchinson. So we like that. D tackle position, we're looking at Mason Smith,
Mm.
Cassius Clay is still there. And then you got Javante Ball on 70 years or 28 years old. So they're kind of full here too. When you look at depth where they need at, could they attack the defensive line? I don't think that's a pressing need. I probably would go D tackle just in case. Other
You
than
could
that,
go D
really.
tackle. Yeah, I was about to say. Other than that, nah.
But if you're looking for a linebacker, you need to come holler at linebacker you. This wasn't on purpose. He set his board. He must have scouted these linebackers, and he didn't, wasn't able to make the draft. So they drafted like 30 of them. The problem is they drafted all fucking dogs. So you know C.J. Westbrook's going nowhere. Brian Woods, 29. He's a walk out of there player. If I'm somebody that need a veteran, you know, you see the awareness. I know it's 90 with a red hour down, but that means he's on minus now. So he's a higher than threshold linebacker. Somebody just need a guy right now that can come in and play for them, help them get to a playoffs or even, get over the hump or whatever the case may be. You got a veteran that you can get super fucking cheap. But if I'm him, I would have been cut this guy. He wouldn't even be on my roster right now. So you're still dealing with Hippolyte the second, right? He only a year, right? You're looking at Prince Cali when he unlocks, he's gonna unlock to a dog, and then you got Xavier Carter from LSU. I like their linebacker core. Now you're not looking at the speed demon linebacker core, all right, Max. Let me ask you this. I like all these linebackers, but I know what they can do. I know their abilities. I know what they're going to be able to do for him. The problem is at this point in the league, they don't have great linebacker speed.
I mean, you're talking to the wrong guy. My linebacker Mace Funa got 89 speed. He starts damn near starts for me. So
Well, that's the point I'm getting at. Just because they don't
yeah,
have like 94, 93 speed everywhere across the board like that doesn't
no,
mean they can't be effective. That's why I said he
nah.
has
Von
great
Taylor
linebackers.
capped out at 90 speed forever. Von Taylor's never had more than 90 speed, and he
Right.
was a dog for his whole time that he was actively the starting linebacker for the Giants. So yeah, I don't. I just think that's more into scheme, and then your user if you're user in the linebacker position. But nah, these linebackers are all manageable to me. Even the 29-year-old that's bound for 30. Barring in a different situation, and you need that 1 year pickup. He's got 90 speed still with 90 awareness. That's gonna matter
Right.
for something.
Yeah, now you're 100% right. Now Cedric Kidd, Billy the Kid is here still, but they picked up Jeremiah Trotter, man. The Colts have done a good job of picking up ex NFL kids, and the fact is that they're real draft players. So these guys are real life players. And they're picking them up right now. So they go get Jeremiah Trotter. They bring in the X Factor linebacker one the moment he unlocked. Comes in 92 speed, 92 excel, and 96 hit power. I think they got better at the middle linebacker. What happens is you bring him in now. Look, 27-year-old Cedric Kid. I'm still not worried about that. He's got 3 years in him. Which was able to let them move Westbrook outside, and it gives them, now when you're not looking at these young rookies, because this is the difference, Max. What happens when you got a whole bunch of linebackers like this that don't have to play yet? You
They
can
just
red
get
shirt
better.
and get them to
Yeah.
develop, right? Because you look at your left outside linebacker, your starter is C.J. Westbrook. He got 94 speed, 95 excel. He's only 25. Florida State. Then you're looking at kid from Florida State who's 27, 93, 96, along with the pickup of Jeremiah Trotter, their first round pick this year. He has 92 speed, 92 excel. And we didn't even talk about the right outside linebacker. JOK is still there. But then you're looking at it, they also picked up Bishop Gorman's little brother, 90, 93. Prince Darber is over. Did I make him twice?
Ooh,
Oh
did you?
no,
I
no,
don't
Prince Cali. No, my bad, my bad. I'm gonna say, and they got Jake Venable. So now, me personally, I'm cleaning up this linebacker room.
know. I'm
Um,
cleaning house. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that.
there's
How old is
there's
JOK?
10 niggas in the league right now that need linebackers, guaranteed, and the coach got them right now.
I had him up for a
Oh my
linebacker bar
God.
before my roster situation when he first got out the draft. I had him up for a linebacker when my roster shit was straight, but I had to tell him to put that shit on hold because I ain't got nowhere to store that player
Yeah,
anyways.
if
So
I need a linebacker, I'm coming to this roster right here and getting them right
yeah,
now. And with an exception of 9 out of 10, you're not getting Jeremiah Trotter, so you might as well kiss his ass if you think that's going to be the guy you're getting. You
and
possibly
then
could get one
JOK
of the
probably
veterans.
you're not getting JOK.
Yeah, I
Other
don't
than
think
that,
nah,
you might be
JOK
able
not
to.
going nowhere. If it's Notre Dame as their college, you might as well kiss that goodbye too. But there's a few guys here. There's a few guys here that can make somebody starting lineup like fast too, boy. Um, shit, it's one over here I like. Shit.
Shit, that's some shit.
Linebacker U is in Indianapolis. The Colts, man, they linebacker U right now. The problem is Mike got to win some ball games. Period. He comes back, beats the shit out of Ty Ty. You better keep that shit going. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that going. You got to win. He got to win games this year. So you got to set this up right now. But look, you looking at this team. The Colts have a team that's built to win this division. Right the fuck now. Am I wrong?
Nope. So far, nope. Not my
Everything
understanding.
we've seen so far screams I can win this division. So one thing about having a guy in the league, right? See, some of us can talk that we know how to build shit, and most guys are trusted and respected, but a lot of guys are like, no, ain't doing something over there, ain't supposed to be doing. You know how that shit go, right? That's just address the elephant in the room. So if I say, I'm one of the better builders in the league, most guys that trust me on that, and you got guys that's gonna think, nah, he a commissioner, he cheating. Well, Mike, they'll never look at Mike can cheat right now. Every week he can edit and cheat, and nobody say a fucking thing because they're not gonna respect his game as him playing enough. Like he ain't whooping your ass, so you ain't worrying about it. But Mike's one of the best builders in this league. Would you say that? Would you say no to that?
No, Mason Smith, D tackle, 97 overall, 21 years old. Michael Myers, 23, almost a 99 at the tight end position, a weird position. Um, Shit, these linebackers that he's gonna have, watch, it ain't gonna take long for them to get active.
So
Uh,
here's the thing, though. It's not like he's trading and all that crazy. He don't trade. He do it through the draft. Now, this is the guy that's not only made the playoff once, so he ain't getting all them extra games I get, or the guys that make the playoffs getting all them extra games and shit for building. He's doing it through 18 weeks of building. And
and
if
then the
he can do
preseason.
it and make it look like this, it can be done, right? I'm just using that as an example because how
Hmm.
it should go. And you're looking at one of the best builders in the league right now, and flat out one of the best builders in the league right now. Who does a hell of a job through the draft and developing his players because he understands he was cut from that cloth. He understands what's going on, how to make it happen. So we're looking at Jalen Bay at 28. Let me ask you this: They did pick up? I thought they picked up a corner. Nah, they didn't. Let me ask you: if they had to go into a draft right now this year, would cornerback be something you will look at the draft in the first round?
Yeah,
You got to,
kinda.
right?
Yeah, do you have 228, 26? It's above that mark. Yeah, I would, because you really gotta look at it, the outlook. You got, you'll have next year, you'll have three guys under 25 and two of them at 24, which is kind of like, like they might not finish the disc with you, because with at
Yeah,
28 they
because
can start
Bay,
feeling old as fuck. Yeah,
Bay and Sturdy is on their way out the door, right?
yeah, out the door. You
Dickerson is
gotta mentally
26,
see
young.
them going. Yeah,
So like you really can. And guess if he didn't miss the draft, that would have been addressed already, guaranteed. If
yeah,
he
I
didn't
think
miss
so.
the draft, he would have already saw that. But he missed it. He didn't see. He wasn't able to make that happen. And that might can be something if he got a bunch of linebackers that might can get him a corner. Uh,
Hmm.
so we'll see though. But like he right now, he's not in trouble at the cornerback position. And some guys can be like, well, I don't. They loaded over. Look at these corners and speed. Nah, And the problem is you don't project out. Like at this point where, we're all drafting shit that we make ourselves need versus really needing. Because at this point we all
Actually,
have the players, you know what I mean? We all have
yeah.
the players, so it's just
And
like it's preference.
it's about people seeing that it's
Projecting
like
out. It's just
it's
projecting
projecting
out.
out, but paying attention to to the little things. Your player, although at 28, he might be where he's at. If he playing different, that's where you got to start seeing it different. Like because the league is already staying young all the time, you know what I'm saying. But the way that you explain, like the way you got to do the draft classes as we project, you got to start thinking that like 28, 29, the development, the actual play could be different. Although they're not striking 30, lingering to all the old guys, and not in every position, but in certain ones, you could see a significant difference from a guy that's 23
Well, if
playing.
you're 28-year-old at the end of the year, drop fucking 8 points. Let's say your guy 99 out right now, and then at the end of the year, All of a sudden, you can't upgrade him at all because he's 99 in all the
Mm-hmm.
purples, right? The puzzle
Categories.
pieces,
After
all the player
archetypes, yeah.
archetypes, right? He 99 there. So actually, Mike can still develop this corner right here. But let's just say he was 99 across the board in player archetype. And then at the end of this season, all of a sudden now you see he has you can upgrade him. That's his tell all, right? That's a guy that's
Exactly.
declining right then and there. So, you either be a guy that don't get to that point or a guy that pay attention to that. Once they start being able to upgrade again, you want to get rid of those guys
And
because
yeah,
you don't
even
really want
even
to
if
line.
it's 1 point, even if it's just a minus 2 pursuit, -1 man, they are not the same corner that they was last season. Even if
At
you do that
all.
upgrade, like it's not the same. It is they're literally a step behind, damn near in my head. Just the way I see it is like damn near a step behind. So like, now I need to get 2 steps ahead because what the hell I'm gonna wait for you to become ass, or I'm gonna get
Right.
on top of it as soon as you know what I'm saying it. As soon as I notice, like, all right, that nigga not playing how he used to play.
So as of right now, I look at 28-year-old and 29-year-olds at the safety position. He's comfortable for right now, but that has to be addressed ASAP.
ASAP.
And a lonely player over is Leon O'Neal. They got to get depth at the safety position fast. So I would think the Colts, going into next season at the end of this year for the off season should be looking for D tackle in my opinion, and corners and safeties in the building to get it back right now. Corner safeties, that'll be his address. I still think he needs to stay on the defensive side of the ball right now um, in his offseason. But this team right now, Max, is it ready to win this division? Like it can, if you line it up
I
on
think it's
paper,
got the same that same veteran kind of S presence with the flash of the young guys that could do things for it. I definitely think they could win the division right now or be in the same competition.
and I'm playing my veterans too, except at the receiver position. You got to get those guys
Exactly.
developed there. I'm not. I mean, you got to keep those veterans around
And
and
then
let
I
them
might
play,
play
but you got
that.
to get those
I
guys
might play a
developed.
little bit of the young back because 31. What's his name? Timed out, and then I'm definitely playing a little bit. I got to see flashes of young Trotter. Got to see flashes of the first round
Trotter
pick
on the
that he
field
was.
right away. That's guaranteed. You're not gonna
Well,
draft the X
nah,
factor
but
number
actually,
two.
actually, no, no, no. What's not Trotter? Baby boy. Right outside linebacker. I liked him.
Oh,
What's his name?
Gorman,
Yeah.
Bishop
I
Gorman,
think
little
I
brother.
think he I think he sees flashes. Trotter, yeah, he the second linebacker. He the second middle. He automatically on the field. But I think yeah, Bishop Gorman little brother could see
Well, what I
some
what I
S.
what I'm doing is he's the number two linebacker behind JOK, but I'm a formation sub him in, let him play in formation packages, right? So when that means when your game starts and you call some of your defenses different formations you like to go to, sub him in and like give him some play where JOK might not be there. You might run, your favorite formation is 3-4 odd, but then 4-3 you got Bishop Gorman's little brother as the outside linebacker and not JOK. Like you got to do things like that just to get him on the field. A lot of guys don't do that. I do that a lot. That's why my backups get built, along with understanding position groups. But you got to do that, right? So you do got to play him. I do believe that you got to play him because he's a superstar as well. So you got to play him. But now if I'm Mike, I'm mixing my veterans on the field. The only position I'm really going young is at receiver. Everywhere else, I want veterans mixed with, here and there. So like Jeremiah Trotter, uh, Bishop Gorman's
That
little
I
brother.
would always be a pair Trotter with kid. I would damn near have
Yeah,
him like to the hip buddies like
yep. And
everywhere
let
they
them
go.
develop. And let them
Yeah,
develop
everywhere
together.
they
Simple
go.
as that. But I'm on the phone right now with all 31 GMs in this league looking to move some linebackers from the Colts. All right, so the next team that we got to talk about is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars was like the Broncos in a sense. They had a bunch of veterans, still do, a bunch of veterans running around. So they got to do a major reset. Right now, they're not ready to move on from Lamar Jackson. As you can see, he's still playing. He's in the top 10 as a passer, top 11, I think, something like that. But they do have their guy just waiting to play, King Sanchez, who could take this team over at any moment. Do you think the more they play Lamar, the more King Sanchez, I mean, the more they have to go ahead and get another quarterback?
Um, kinda. It's at that like age where it's like, all right, if King Sanchez don't touch the
This
field,
got to be Lamar Jackson's last year.
last year, like yeah, this might be like yeah, last year. Like I
If it's
can't
not, you keep Sanchez, but I would be in the market looking for a quarterback just in case.
heavy market just in
Uh,
case. Because you never know. At this point, you lingered out Sanchez to the point where you don't even know how he's going to feel with the team no more. At this point, the team
How
might not
much
even be.
how much does a non-ability Travis Etienne? What role does he play for this team as a non-ability player?
Uh, allows that. Um, I feel like allows that capacity to consistently gain XP and develop. I feel like look at the way that all these guys are kind of like,
They loaded at the
Reese's.
running back position
Yeah,
though.
they've
They are
loaded,
loaded. Bruce,
loaded, but
man, look, cause
they're
they
close
got
within
sleeper too.
overall.
L.J. Johnson. Look at the break tackle.
Exactly.
Like they loaded here. And then they got Jacquez Hunter, who was a sleeper in last year's draft as well, superstar. So that's your next ETN on in a sense. But he's still me personally. He's still a development stage. Worst case scenario, he'll be playing punt returner, kick returner for me.
Hmm.
LJ needs to touch the field. Period. Bottom line, you got to get him. You got to find a way, whether through gift or you develop him into, a superstar. You got to get that on him because ideally
Yeah, I like that
you want
225,
yeah.
5'10". That shit. Yeah, I like
And Bruce
that.
Hall is a monster, bro. Like this is
Exactly.
their future back right here, like flat out. So I like their backfield. Their backfield fucking loaded. And you look at the receiver position outside of Skylar Moore, who hasn't been back on his team yet. We got to get him back. But Bateman's 31. Olive, you got Plexico. You got to get something out of him for the next 3 years, in my opinion. Next 2 seasons. Birds here. They went and got Gil Panfile out of free agency, and then you got Marcus Washington, 6'3". They got some big body
Yeah,
receivers,
this
so they're not in a
this
situation.
definitely Olave's receiving room though.
Of course, honestly, it ain't just Olave's receiving room too. In my opinion, I think Burris could be a big play to this, but Bird would be one I'm invested in.
I think, yeah, I think, well, of course you're more invested in the age of Olave. I think Burris is a true one outside,
Yeah,
similar
yeah.
to his role in New York. I think that's why he, even, ventured out and moved. He was tired of the shared space with Cannon, so he's a true one outside.
So he kept the
And then,
ability on Bateman though. So how you got to use him, right? You got to play
exactly,
him. So
exactly, exactly. So
I'm
it's
using Olive all over the field. He's gonna play one, two,
all
three.
over.
He's everywhere, right? But
Yeah,
but
definitely got
but
him in the
but
slot and all that
ideally,
shit.
yeah, ideally when you come out two receiver sets, you could do a mixture. Imagine this, two receiver sets with Burris and Bird out there at 6'5", 6'5". You on run formation to go get it. You
Hmm.
got right here with these two. He could do some things over here because then you still got Marcus Washington down here at 6'3", who's a speed demon. So and can go get it special catch wise. He's in a comfortable space. And don't forget
I was about
Sky
to say,
Moore
I think they're
belongs
in
on
a
this
good.
roster too.
They're in a yeah. I was just about to say, without Sky Moore missing, they're still in a good space with age, development, and kind of like having next up. Like Burris is still 3 years away from 30. Bird is 5 away from Olave 7. Marcus is 8, and then Skylar Moore was like 8 years away too. He like 22, something like that. They're far away from that. They got levels to like their age
Yes,
gaps. You know what
sir.
I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. All right, so at the tight end, they got a 26-year-old. They got Wesley at 29, and then they got Pill at 25. They're not in a bad situation at the tight end position right now, although Wesley will be 30 at the end of the year, which is
Next year,
no
I could see
problem because, you know, maybe this was Bateman's last year,
last year.
and then you can use that on Wesley and still have him locked in. So I like the tight ends. They used to have. We remember at one point we were saying between the Bucks and the Jaguars, they had the best offensive lines in the league. Some of these guys are still on deck. Look at Noah Young still sitting there. You got Jermaine Burr still sitting there. Looking at the center position. Now you got Lindstrom here, um, which is fine. That's just center takeover with a veteran and Mitchell. I like it. Their line is still intact. Marcus Gooden is here. They do got a young gunner they can bring up at any moment. And at right tackle, they deep 30-year-old Darren Johnson is here, but then they got Branson Teller at 21 now. You want to get the abilities on him, but he's a dog if you look at him overall. Still got a lot of building to do. 80 run blocking, not going to cut it right now, especially 14 that run the ball. So they got work to do there, but other than that, I think they're comfortable on the line. Still a really good offensive line. Now, defensively, Smith is 30. Ray Lewis is 31. I mean 29. So you got him this year. What do you think about them moving him to line defensive end?
Um,
Should we look at the rest of them before we make a comment on that? Let's just leave that alone for right now.
yeah,
Always
I gotta
30.
see.
I mean, they want an athlete here. There's nothing wrong with this, you know what I mean? Because you could do a lot with a linebacker. He can play outside linebacker, so it's almost that's what he's playing in a sense. but you can still drop him in coverage. You can do so much with that, especially when you lose Justin Smith, who was a monster for him. At 30, he loses his ability. Oway loses his ability. When you're looking at Bob Stewart, it's a
I ain't really
roster
mad
filler
at it.
right now. No, not for
Yeah,
right now. When you keep looking at it, Xavier Thomas, they picked up in a trade with me, so they got them a dog that they can, that could be their next Justin Smith. To be honest with you, they kind of cool there at D tackle, 29, and you're looking at 25, and they picked up Keyshawn Silvers, X Factor, out of this year's draft dog. So they kind of super good there as well. Now Patrick Queen still here, 29 years old. He got the Benjamin Button, so that kept him at 29. And you're looking at Tyrone Pierce, superstar, uh, 27. Not blazing, but not slow either. And this is why Ray Lewis will still be playing linebacker for me. Well, until you come over here and see all this shit right here. God damn. Yeah, they loaded. Jeremiah Wilder. You got Demoy Kennedy. You got Wesley Steiner. All dogs. All over 90 speed. Yep. I see what he did now. Now you look at it. Ketter from me, and then you got Cox. Honestly, might sound stupid, or it might be right. I'm pitting Cox because Cox is a defensive end in a 4-3 and when he played for Florida. So I would move him to the defensive end and bring Lewis right back to the linebacker. The problem is I see why he didn't do it because you need that pressure. You need somebody with ability rushing off the edge. Cox don't have that ability. So
and that speed that Ray Lewis has.
yeah, man, I don't know. I guess six
You
three,
could
two
try.
fifty five. Lupita.
I was about to say, I would. I mean, I might.
It's Ray Lewis. We don't see, what I mean? It's his team. Let him do what he
Yeah,
want. You know what I mean? You look at the cornerback position, I think they are super loaded here. They do got some veterans. And when you look at how many corners is over here, you're like, God damn, right? But you got to look at the first three, 27, 29, 28. So at that, in the sense of guys that's getting up there in age, you have your future with Ray John, right? You got Dwayne Starks, he's 27, so you're looking at really three corners to go into the future with. And we're not ignoring these guys; we're just looking into the future right now. So they got corners everywhere to be able to, win for the next 2 years in their secondary. But when you take a 27-year-old, a 29-year-old, 28-year-old, that's three corners right there, and you come down to Starks, who's 27. Now you're really only dealing with Banks, Raheem, and then Rajon Wright. So cornerback might be another need for them eventually, just not right now. But this team
mm,
got really good corners that can line up and lock down with anybody's receiving for it.
they
So
can
they're
play the
loaded there.
carryover game, is what I
Sure.
call it. You lose one, carry over one, lose one, carry over one. They can do that for about 2 or 3 seasons, it looks like, and then they can still draft one in the midst of those 2 or 3 seasons.
I think they got two young, really, really young back deep free safeties that's gonna play back deep for them. Good, great speed. Um, good coverage and everything right now. These guys, they're young, but they're still in the building. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. No sub packages there, but you don't really need it with all them linebackers you got. Then you're looking at veteran Donovan, and then you're looking at Reggie Stubberfield at 23 years old as well. So they have it. They have a bunch of DBs. I think they're still set in their DB room right now. They don't have to have no panic at all right now. And this team should be playing for their division, and not only their division, they should still be a consistent playoff team who should be looking to win in the motherfucking wild card round. Simple as that. Did, is this the better roster out of the three we looked at so far?
To a degree, because of the outlook of the youth.
Yeah, I think the coach is still really built well as well, man. Let's go look at the team that won this
Yeah.
division. The last team we're gonna talk about today on this show. Look at what they got going on over here. So here we go. Obviously, Kenny Pickett is the future quarterback of this team. They went and got Aaron McKnight out of free agency, and they still got Spencer Rattler there. All right, so at the running back position, here's my thing. They lost a big time running back that went over to the Bills in free agency or after the season's over. I don't know how they lost him, but they lost him. He wasn't really, going nuts over that. Bishop Bonnet from Florida A&M. Looking at stars, they got to get work here. They went. See, this is my thing. They had Springs, who's 29, right? And they had a dog, the number one running back in the last Game of Thrones draft that was on this roster. Not now. He's on the Bills roster now. they're in need for a running back, in my opinion. They need another running back over there. Um, they need another running back over there for sure. And come holler at me. That's what you need to do. Come holler at me. I got a running back for you. But they need another running back. They have to because they have to prepare for springs. Um, because
Yeah,
here's
because
going to
that
be the
rookie
difference.
he
Even
drafted, they
even
cut.
even if they decide Springs is my guy next year, I want to keep his ability. He drops down to a superstar. Without that freight train, it changes things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It does. Period. It does. So they gotta be in the market for a running back now. And this team can play deep into the playoffs, so they need to get that running back now. I don't think they can afford to wait till next year. I think they need that guy on their roster in their system right now. Um, and it sucks that they had it already and he lost them by default. But we do know that receiving room is off the hook over there. Until you start looking at the age of Carmichael, the age of Tavon Smith. Ain't that your old receiver?
Yes, sir. I traded him
And
like
then
2 years
Quandre
ago.
Harris, 27. So you got him for a couple more seasons. Thornton's a speed demon. They picked up Steve Smith Jr. Who I traded him to and they let him go? Oh my God. Oh, they still cool in their receiving room. They got a 30-year-old. That's it. So they still in position. They are fast over here at the receiver position. I like it. Tight end position as well. They picked up my boy Cameron too. When is he? Is he their starter yet? Not yet. Travis Graham is still the guy at 29, but he'll take over. So they got two 30-year-olds damn near. But here's the guy right here, Cameron two from Alabama. Get him on the field early and often. Looking at the line, they're young at the line too. They got good backups like that. Left guard, same thing. Nice little backup over here. Centers, young over here. They're legit on the front line. They don't just got veterans. They got guys that can plug and play right behind them. At right tackle, same thing. 23 and 26-year-old. All right, defensively, I mean, obviously Boone, 30 years old. Billy lost. But they fixed that with Keyshawn James from Fayetteville State. Dog. Look at this guy, bro. Big time. This is a big pickup for them, man. Completely big pickup. So they kind of cool there. Coles is getting old, lost his ability, but Derek Hell, ain't that the Bills' old DN? Yep, definitely is.
Yeah.
So they pick up 27-year-olds. So let me look back at this left end situation. Get up there in age, they got to attack the end. They can wait, though. They get that next year. I would say get it next year. Try to get it this year if you can. If somebody got a guy that you can trade for. If not, you can wait. The problem is one of your best guys that was always up for the awards is now on normal and Coles. And he's been, up there in the awards every year. So need to fix that. Chambers 29, Jason Hickman 25, and then they got Jason Dumas. They've been drafting a lot of HBCU players. You like that strategy?
Um, I think it's like a wild card strategy. It could fare to be good. It could fare to be like you find some guys that kind of just haven't made their mark in the league because type of program they're coming from in a sense.
And they're young. They ain't really, they gotta get the experience. They're young. Because I'm gonna say it like this. This is I mean, you got a nice little DN. This is like Warren Sapp on the low, 86 PA 7 cell. Fucking dog and Jason Dumas. Look, they just picked up from Fayetteville. They got Keyshawn James, who's look at that speed at 6'4", 280, bro. And then he got 96 strength with the green out left, so he could play deep tackle for this team if he wanted him to. On linebacker level, Cam Riley has the speed, no ability yet. So they're good. Shaq Preston, 27. I mean, Taekwon Johnson's here. Chris Flowers, they all still young, so pretty good there. Linebacker level, Kiwan Ding is there. You got Isaiah Land again, Florida A&M, another HBCU. They got Jennings from out of Grambling State. See what I'm saying right now? They tearing these fucking HBCU niggas and they getting dogs. Because when he unlocks those superstars. So they getting the right players over there, man. Oh my God, this HBCU over here. That's what they are. The Houston HBCU team. All right, Franklin is 28. Randy Thomas is 28. But then Eli Ricks is still here. But then you're looking at McClendon is 27. And then Jalen Davis. So they need help. They did address the cornerback position. They got a speed demon in Jalen Davis. But they're going to need some more cornerback play over here for sure. Brisker, that's my guy, Penn State. I like him a lot. Michaela Steam's there. And then when you look at the safety position build. Bull Murray Jr. 27, and then you got Jeremiah Critter from Oklahoma 92, 95. You get an ability on him, you're good. That would be my next mark. Find a way to get an ability on Critter. The Texans can play. I don't think there's too much of a separation from all four of these teams.
Not really. Some lose on age in the aspect, and some
But
lose
on
on.
paper, right now, when they line up, like when Houston got to play the Titans, or Titans got to play the Colts, or Jaguars got to play Houston, when they line up, they match up.
Oh
All
yeah,
of them. Every last one of them in this division match up. Like so, in my opinion, this could be anybody's division over here. Now I know we done played 4 and 5 games already, so you know, schedule right now will determine everything. But you're still early in the season, and your destiny is still in front of you when it comes down to the AFC South. I'm expecting better play. I'm expecting all four of these guys over here at least giving each other dog fights for a while because they're right at the same on the same page as far as you know team wise. So like it comes down to who's going, who won it more on scheme and all that. Let me ask you, any one of these teams you look at that have an advantage offensively over the rest of the 4 teams? I mean, the rest of the 3 teams.
um,
It's hard to say, right? They all got shit. Like they all got some things.
yeah,
Like look at the receiver room. It's like all their receiver room is pretty solid. I think the Titans got a couple of like bringing Isaac Cannon in the building, changing some things for them. But they got to prove that they can use their weapons at the receiver position. But I love the Titans defense. When we went to the Titans defense, did I miss something? Because I don't remember seeing. Here we go. I did miss some shit. I don't think I got to their safeties because we forgot Daxton Hill over here. This secondary is loaded, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I stopped at their corners. I didn't get to Daxton Hill and who could play corner or safety. Xavier Alfred. They got a whole bunch of real draft guys in their secondary. Tyler Nubin. Look at this shit. Victor McLeod, HBCU. You got Trey Lewis, been in the league for a while. Both these guys, and then you got Jordan Morant from Michigan. The Titans got it, bro. Is their secondary? I think they got the secondary that's going to go into the future. They're still young. They don't really got a bunch of old motherfuckers running around their secondary. They got a team they can build with. Like so defensively on the Titans, I'm gonna continue to build at the you don't have to touch the linebacker level or your DB room for the most part. You gotta build your offense into something more special. You gotta better shoot it out with any one of these teams in your division. That's the first thing, and then you gotta better slug it out with any one of these teams in the division. So that means you got better have a powerful run game when needed and better throw the ball when needed when playing these other teams in your division. Who you got winning this division this year?
um, probably go Texans.
You going Texans? I'm going Jaguars this time. I think Jaguars got something to say about it. We'll see. But the Texans they can shoot it out with you. They can run the ball with yeah, that's gonna be hard. The Texans be running the fuck out that ball, and they got speed demons from when you can't stop the run. You got to keep that run. They can get behind you with big
Yeah,
body receivers with speed.
with Pickett at the
Yeah, I'm going
helm,
Texans too. I'm gonna go Texans again in this
Texans.
division. All right, fellas. Well, that's our AFC South. The next time I come back on, I'll do another division fallout and talk about what they did in the offseason. I do think that the Titans are built to try to win right now, but they have to reset this roster offensively for sure. But other than that, man, I like what everybody's doing over there. They're doing a good job of putting their team together. And, now it's just getting those guys on the field that's going to win ball games for you, man. And the guys that can make plays are can forever make the plays. You just gotta trust it, trust them, trust what their abilities can do. Because that's a big part of it when we all at 99 overalls with our teams thing. It's matchups. It's winning by scheme. It's winning by understanding what to do with your players, how to move, and how to get guys open, when to run the ball, when to check down. All those things matter because everything's height is shortened. Like the windows don't stay open as long as they do. And leagues that's not like ours. Like the windows close really fast. Um, Everybody got guys that acrobat all over the place. It's hard to throw the football in this league, and those that do it well, salute to y'all. But everybody has a team that they should better line up with and be comfortable when they're on the field against somebody else. At this point, and some of these guys have reset their rosters, so because of the youth, teams that they usually can match up and give good games to, they might not win those games right now. But when that youth catch up is on, other than that, man, and hits the franchise guru, we are out.